Houston, Texas. So are we. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. It's game one of this World Series, and it should be fun. I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. I'm glad you're sitting next to me for what we should see over the next couple of nights. The pitching matchups are kind of a throwback, and when you take what the Houston Astros are throwing out there in Garrett Cole, he's been virtually unbeatable for months. I mean, it's miraculous what he's been able to do.
It really is, and there's not enough time to really describe how unbelievable he is. We'll do that during the game. But both these clubs are going to rely on their starting pitching to be successful. They're going to really lay heavy on the starters and less on the bullpens if it's a successful game. Garrett Cole has been unbeatable, as you mentioned. He's been the guy in the postseason, 3-0, giving up virtually nothing, striking out everybody. And if you're going to put the hands of the ball in Garrett Cole, what better guy to stay game one? I'm telling you what, I am as excited as I've ever been. And I think if you like pitching, you're going to love this series.
All right, let's take the other guy. Max Scherzer, he takes a backseat to nobody. He's a three-time Cy Young Award winner, and he's a guy who, if you haven't seen him pitch, he gives you everything he's got. Seemingly with every delivery, he throws it all at you, and he's coming at the Houston Astros tonight.
Absolutely, he will be fired up. He's coming back from some injuries. He bounced back nicely in his previous two starts. And again, if you're the Washington Nationals, your starters are so good that they pitched a high percentage to get to this point. They're glad they're playing, but they're going to have their hands full. Both offenses are going to have their hands full. Look at the numbers for Max Scherzer. Again, watch early on how much RPM and miles per hour he has, but when he settles in, it's as good as it gets.
Tell you what, any one of the first four starters in this World Series has the ability to throw a shutout. That's the kind of stuff they have. We'll see if they can bring it to the ballpark in games 1 and 2 of this World Series. Here are the guys coming to the ballpark. The faces of the players you will see over the next week or so in this World Series. It's going to be fun. Baseball is coming up next on Fox.
Think back a few years, we were sort of in the same place. A little unknown, finding our way.
Very major hurricane devastated our city.
The city was going through a lot, but everyone in Houston rallied together and supported each other. You know, we came from all that and truly did the impossible.
The Houston Astros are world champion for the first time in franchise history.
Shocked everybody.
Debuted at number 1.
As difficult as that was, the job is even tougher this time, you know, to do it all again. There's a new set of obstacles. An opponent looking right back at you with that same hunger, that same passion. But that's what you live for.
This game is over.
The hard times, the challenge. It makes it even sweeter when it all comes together in the end.
Well, this is when baseball is at its best, and we have some of the best pitching baseball has to offer going at it head-to-head here tonight and tomorrow night and the rest of the series, and two of the hottest teams since May 24th. You've got the Washington Nationals, the Houston Astros squaring off in the World Series, and here's the lineup for Davey Martinez. He leads it off with Trey Turner, then Adam Eaton, then Anthony Rendon. The top three in the lineup. In the middle, it's Juan Soto, the kid. He's only 20. Howie Kendrick, the DH. As Drupal Cabrera gets the start at second base. And on the back end, Mr. Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman, Kurt Suzuki, and Victor Robles. Before first pitch. And what this Nationals lineup has to do. We go down to Tom Bertucci.
Thanks, Joe. The Nationals build on tough at-bats like bricks in a wall. And the toughest belong to Anthony Rendon and Juan Soto. Rendon has a swing right out of Physics 101. The pulley, the lever, the Rendon swing are simple machines. Soto is one of the best high fastball hitters in baseball. Garrett Cole has the best high fastball in baseball. That matchup alone on a star-studded night is worth the price of admission. Joe?
Yeah, it's so fun going into this World Series and looking at these matchups, not just pitcher to pitcher, but pitcher to lineup for each of the first two games, to be sure. And those numbers are ridiculous. 19-0 since the end of May. And a 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses up for ball one.
There'll be some butterflies early, especially from some of the Nationals who've been waiting a long time to get here. But make no bones about it, this offense is so underrated. Not a lot of people know how good they are against fastballs over 96 miles an hour, and how good they are against sliders.
Trey Turner with a 1-0 count. That's off the glove of Correa, and Turner is on to start the night for Washington. Would have been a tough play had he come up with it cleanly. He didn't, and it's a base hit.
Well, Turner can fly, and Correa knows he's got to get this right away and throw it. That's the difference of a guy who can run versus somebody who can't. Turner makes everything go for the Nationals. And look to see in this series, just setting the scene, there's going to be contact. Will there be some down the road bunts? And will there be some stolen bases? Because when you're going against these great pitchers, you have to do whatever you can to kind of upset how good they are and how much they can dominate the game.
There goes Turner. Pitches down. Throw to second is too late. And a stolen base for Trey Turner to start the night. He's standing at second with nobody out.
And that's exactly what the Nationals are going to have to do. They're known for their running, although the last 10 games they didn't attempt a stolen base. But against Cole, Verlander, they're going to have to do these little things. They're going to have to play a little reckless on a team that basically knows they came in here as the underdog, but they don't feel that way.
The pitch was a ball to Adam Eaton. And now a bunt in the air, and Garrett Cole says thanks. 1 out. By the way, when Trey Turner stole second, he steals the first base, obviously, of this 2019 World Series. And with that stolen base, all of America wins free Doritos Locos Tacos. Stop by Taco Bell on October 30th from 2 to 6 p.m. to snag yours.
Well, unfortunately, and we see the stolen base, right? Unfortunately, this was a setup situation for Eaton to bunt him over to third with their best hitter at the plate in Rendon. And Eaton looked like he was trying to bunt the ball in a perfect spot rather than just get it on the ground.
Here's Rendon. Strike one.
Most people are going to say facing Scherzer and Cole, it's harder to bunt against a guy like that. I get it, but fundamentally that's what the Nationals wanted to do, to create early pressure in the first inning against a guy who basically has given up nothing in the postseason.
And I know you said it, but that is their first stolen base attempt in 10 games in the postseason. The Nationals stole 116 during the regular season, number 1 in the league, number 3 in the major leagues. That's fouled out of play off to the right. And the count 0-2 on Rendon, who's had a monster year. Third best average, number 1 in RBIs, and it's his walk year. From Houston. Grew up rooting for the Astros and now trying to break their hearts here in the first inning.
So he basically is the right-handed version of Brantley for the Astros.
Two out. Garrett Cole just said, "Here, hit it," and Anthony Rendon could not. The HP defensive lineup for Houston in the outfield, typical look. Brantley, Springer, Reddick, left to right. Around the infield, they're very good. Bregman, Correa, Altuve, and Gurriel. Maldonado is catching here in game 1. And on the mound is Garrett Cole, trying to get around a hit and a steal. Eaton popped up trying to bunt. Rendon struck out. Here's Juan Soto. Hello, 97, strike 1.
This young hitter has impressed everybody in the Nationals organization, and he has a keen eye as well. Not as locked in as he was earlier. Won't expand the zone too much, but man, oh man, sky's the limit. Some big home runs against the Dodgers.
That is strike 2.
So here's the problem for the National hitters who faced Cole before. He's a totally different pitcher. Some of the guys they faced him when he was with Pittsburgh, it's like seeing a brand new pitcher and trying to figure him out on the fly.
Scoreless inning, gets around a hit and a steal. No score after a half. Stay tuned for more action from the World Series on Fox, presented by YouTube TV. Here's the lineup for the Astros in Game 1. George Springer first up, then Jose Altuve, the hero from Game 6 on Saturday night. Michael Brantley hits third. In the middle, it's Bregman, Gurriel, and Carlos Correa. And on the back end, Yordan Alvarez, Martin Maldonado, and Josh Reddick. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
So the Astros are batting just .208 in the postseason, and ideally they want to run up Max Scherzer's pitch count tonight, but they're operating with little margin for error. It's a fine line. As they face Scherzer tonight, what they're doing is trying to be aggressive, but at the same time, they can't get caught here. They have to get the pitches they hit, and they have to hit them.
Yeah, the numbers are kind of shocking for the Astros compared to what they've done, not just in the regular season 2019, but over the past 3 years. Here's Max Scherzer. And that's poured in for a strike to George Springer. And if you like power pitching, you just saw some from Garrett Cole, and you'll see more from Max Scherzer.
Well, he gets the 2 strikes in the first 3 pitches, as good as anybody in baseball. So the problem for the Astros is, yes, you want to make him work, but you could make your work harder by getting 2 strikes on almost every hitter if you don't pick out something early to hit.
He has a violent delivery. Whoa. Gives it. I mean, he just throws everything he's got. He's listed at 6'3", 215. And he uses all of it as he launches toward the plate. The count's 2-1 on Springer.
Makes it tough on right-handers. He's owned right-handers this year. He's got a short arm action, and it gets on the hitter quick. The telltale sign for the Astros hitters is if he has his changeup, Scherzer has his changeup, they're in for a long night. He throws fastball, slider, occasional curveball, but his changeup has become such a weapon because you don't know the difference between it and the fastball because it comes out of the same slot.
It's already hit 97 twice. And that breaking ball is hammered but fouled by Springer. Scherzer is a 3-time Cy Young Award winner and part of a Nationals staff that held the St. Louis Cardinals to a combined 130 batting average in a 4-game sweep during the NLCS.
And no extra base hits allowed in his last 13 innings, which is incredible at this time of the year.
2-2. Full count. Springer has popped 13 career postseason home runs, and so has that man. Three-two pitch.
No,
that is up and in, and each side puts the leadoff man on in the first. The HP defensive lineup for the Nationals. Juan Soto in left. Tremendous talent in center is Victor Robles, and Adam Eaton is in right. Around the infield, really good on the left side, Rendon and Turner. Cabrera gets the start, errorless in his time with Washington. Picked up this year from Texas, Ryan Zimmerman at first. The catcher is Kurt Suzuki. And here's the hero from, we'll just call him Mr. Saturday Night.
He's become Mr. First Game of a Series. He has dominated the first game of a postseason series.
He shoots one in the left. Soto on a hop. Gets it back in. You deliver it up to Altuve, and he will hammer it. He loves the ball up.
It's amazing for a little guy how much power and how much he hits for slug. when the ball is up. And just about every one of his home runs this postseason have been in that area. And now Max Scherzer is starting out in a little bit of a trouble situation with Brantley, who doesn't swing and miss much at the plate.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out. And here is Michael Brantley. Good, nasty pitch down and in. Brantley tried to hold up, could not. Michael has seen Max Scherzer plenty. 15 out of 44 lifetime against this Nationals right-hander who was with the Tigers prior to coming to D.C. Inside corner, good pitch again. Strike two.
There's the first changeup of the game. That's the pitch he has to get working. It kind of turns it over. He pulled it. He was trying to get it on the outside part of the plate, but it actually worked out because it froze Brantley.
Time called. This is an area where the Astros have struggled this postseason despite getting past the Rays and most recently the Yankees, hitting just 175 with runners in scoring position. Springer at second, Altuve at first.
A lot of pressure on Turner to hold Springer close because Rendon has a long way to go to third if Springer decides to take a base. Because of the shift, Rendon, there's a lot of pressure on him. You can see how far away he is from the bag, and Turner's going to do his best to hold Springer. Good speed on the bases right now if at some point A.J. decides to send both the runners.
Big strikeout for Max Scherzer. 2 on 1 down. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by YouTube TV. History happens live. And by Dell Technologies. Let's harness your digital future today.
So for the Astros, we talked about in the open, they want to make Max Scherzer work as hard as he can to get into the Nats bullpen. Well, already the stress pitches and the stress situation in this first inning, they've accomplished their goal, whether they score or not, because this guy at the plate is as stingy as it gets.
And that guy's name is Alex Bregman. They chant MVP when he digs in here at home. Didn't have a great series with the bat against the Yankees. Was just 3 out of 18. Does have a home run this postseason. Hit 41 home runs during the regular season.
Because of the angle at which Scherzer throws, when he has the slider working, they'll tell you as a hitting approach, don't swing. If you're sitting on fastball, hit the fastball, but don't swing at things that spin. Good luck.
You hear Max Scherzer grunting as he delivers at 97.
Here's the angle I'm talking about. It's a short arm. Look at, if you're the hitter, you're watching this big man come right at you, and then all of a sudden just let it eat with that four-seam fastball.
What a block by Suzuki. Throw down to third is too late. Good base running by Springer. It's a wild pitch, and that's a big deal with only 1 out in the inning.
That's a huge deal. He spikes his breaking ball. Suzuki does an incredible job to keep it in front of him, but Springer reacts right away. This is how you get to third. Heads up base running. It's stuff that A.J. Hinch preaches to his team. Take the extra base. Put pressure on the other team.
Check on the runner. Well, Bregman's so good handling the bat. Now you've got the first run of the night sitting there 90 feet away. Meanwhile, Scherzer is #1 in baseball since 2013 in strikeouts. He struck out Brantley. Really good block by Suzuki.
Yeah, since 2013, he's number 1, 2, or 3 in just about everything. This is how durable this guy has been. He trains for these moments. He runs a ton. And physically, he's had some issues with his back. But the rest, you got to believe, helped them and him in between series.
2-2 runner going, struck him out. That's 2 out in the inning. Totally fooled Bregman, and with that strikeout down to second, Altuve, as he gets his second stolen base of the postseason, and the inning falls into the lap of Yuli Gurriel.
He varies the speeds on his breaks, so if you're staying off of that pitch and he throws the hard slider / cutter version, that's not as good as the change of speed breaking ball that he just threw Bregman after spiking a couple of them in the dirt.
Gurriel popped a 3-run home run in the first inning of Game 6 against the Yankees. Swing and a miss here. By the way, the Nationals have not trailed since the 8th inning of Game 5 of the division series out in LA, when they hit back-to-back home runs off the Dodgers and Kershaw to tie it, and won it in the 10th on a grand slam by Kendrick. The 0-1. Wow.
Scherzer knows how important. He's pitching this first inning like the 9th, by the way. And the reason he's doing that, he knows how important it is to not let this crowd or Houston get the lead with their hot pitcher on the mound. So he's given everything that he has to make sure he can put up a 0 right here, pitching it like the 9th.
Suzuki again.
And you know those two have confidence in each other. And that's an unbelievable number, by the way. No matter who you're facing, 0 for 17 is getting it done. Suzuki knows the pitch is coming, so he's in great position to not let anything get by him.
It's 1-2 on Yuli Gurriel. Fly ball into left. Back at the wall. It is off the wall. Astros lead 2-0 here in the first on a double by Gurriel.
This guy is just so good. He has not struck out this postseason. Look how he gets his hands inside of a high fastball at 96. You got to have some kind of mechanical and back control to be able to do that on a pitch like that. And even though he doesn't have the average to represent how good he's hit the ball, the last couple times, a 3-run homer now and a double in the last 2 games.
Almost an identical swing that he put on. Ball pitched by Chad Green in Game 6 in the first inning on Saturday.
No.
Here's Carlos Correa and a ball upstairs. Astros strike first, and they get a 2-out, 2-run double by Gurriel.
It's amazing on a team like the Astros. Of course, they struggled with runners in scoring position in their last series, but their last huge runs have all come with 2 outs. A 2-out, 3-run homer in the first by Gurriel, a 2-out, 2-run homer to send them this game by Altuve, and now another 2-out run, 2-out, 2 RBIs by Gurriel in the first.
1-1 from Scherzer. Nationals had a runner at second, nobody out in the top of this inning. Didn't score. Astros do not miss their chance in the bottom of the first. They want more. 2-2. Full count.
"25 pitches in the first. Couldn't ask for much more. If they had an approach for Houston against Scherzer, first inning, check that off.
They have made him work. Garrett Cole threw 10 pitches in the top of the inning. Strikeout ends the inning. But the Astros get the first 2 runs of this World Series. Scherzer almost got out of it, but Yuli Gurriel delivers as he shoots the gap in left center field. 2-0. Houston after 1. First pitch, a strike to Howie Kendrick. Second inning, Kendrick, who was the NLCS MVP, as Drupal Cabrera, Ryan Zimmerman for the Nationals. That misses, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Washington got that leadoff hit from Trey Turner. Stole second. Was stranded. 1-1 from Garrett Cole, left side, with a backhand, long throw. Correa shows off the good arm, 1 down. Give you a look at the umpires for this World Series. Alan Porter is working the plate. Doug Eddings at first. Gary Cederstrom is the crew chief. He's at second. James Hoy is at third. Lance Barksdale is in left, and Sam Holbrook is in right. Replay official who will join the on-field crew is Jim Wolf in New York. As Drupal Cabrera digs in, there was a moment of silence before tonight's game for 21-year Major League Baseball umpire Eric Cooper, who passed away suddenly recently at the age of 52. A tragic story. Worked the World Series in 2014 and was umpiring as recently as the division series with the Yankees and the Twins. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Cabrera.
Both these pitchers go about their velocity in different ways. It almost looks like Garrett Cole just sits back on his back leg and plays catch, but gets it up to 100 miles an hour. I mean, it's just fluid and easy 4-seam gas. This is a guy who used to have a ground ball rate that was really good in Pittsburgh because he threw more 2-seamers. Max has the perfect first name because he maxes out in everything that he does. A total different delivery, but high velocity out of both.
Cabrera fouls it away.
And the challenge for the Nationals, of course, you don't face too many guys like Garrett Cole. It's top of the zone fastballs that are going to give them the biggest issue. If they can lay off of those and bring the ball down, then they can use his power to their advantage as hitters. But that's like 0.001 seconds to make that decision.
1-2. Popped up on the infield. Correa has out number 2. It'll bring in Ryan Zimmerman. Our player resume sponsored by Indeed. He was the Nationals' first ever draft pick back in 05. Got to the big leagues that year. There he is as a kid out of UVA, and the franchise leader in hits, home runs, RBIs, extra base hits. Obviously his first World Series appearance. Nationals had all that heartbreak with great teams, losing in the first round of the playoffs in 2012, 14, 16, and 17. That's upstairs. And the count 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, the one thing you know about Zimmerman, unfortunately missing those games, he's a little bit fresher. He can handle the fastball, but he likes the fastball down, not so much up. Power is down in the zone.
Dealt with plantar fasciitis early in the year, and here's one into center. Back at the wall, and it is gone. Zimmerman tees off here in the second inning. It's a 2-1 ball game, and that was blasted.
He got one down. Cole knew it as soon as he let go. The scouting reports on everybody are there for everyone to execute. Loves the fastball, and he loves it down. And Zimmerman, as you mentioned, the first guy for the Nationals / Expos. You could see Cole's reaction in the background. We'll get a better look of it. He knows it, and that is an absolute bomb because that's the straightaway center.
Hit a big 3-run home run in Game 4 of the division series against the Dodgers. And Mr. Washington Nationals goes deep to center to cut the lead by Houston in half. It's 2-1. Here's Kurt Suzuki, 1 for 20 this postseason. And by the way, when I was talking about Eric Cooper, the initial plan that I had read is they were going to have a patch, the umpires were, that read Coop on their sleeve. Instead, they have Eric Cooper's initials as well as the initials of the late Jim McKean, who passed away earlier this year. Another terrific umpire for a long time in the big leagues. That's a strike, and the count 2-1 on Kurt Suzuki.
That's a huge 2-out homer. I mean, every homer is huge, but
2-2 now on Suzuki.
When you see the battle that you're facing Cole, I mean, you're talking about guys that might have to face him 3 or 4 times, and you know you're going to lose the battle a couple times and not even put it in play. So if you can get one and put it in play and do damage against Garrett Cole, that is huge for your team and just the psyche of it.
2-2 now. Full count. .413-foot home run. And that moonshot alert brought to you by YouTube TV. History happens live. After that 6-day layoff, some of these vets, and Zimmerman definitely one of them, getting a break, coming back, facing a guy like Garrett Cole. Had a chance to score in the first inning, missed it. Ryan Zimmerman did not miss that pitch. Now a 3-2 count on Suzuki. And back here.
You know, you hear people say all the time, some of these guys in the game can time a train. I mean, they could time just, you throw them enough of them, they're going to catch up to them. But they tell you got to swing on top of Cole's 4-seamer, because typically it's getting on you, and if you can swing above it, then you'll probably catch the bottom of it. I mean, to do that right away in your first at bat, Zimmerman's got to feel good about that approach.
3-2 pitch here, left side, and it's Correa from the hole, wide throw, and the tag for the out. But the Nationals are on the board on the home run by Zimmerman. T-Mobile and Fox Sports continually go further for fans, connecting you to baseball's biggest moments with technology that change how you experience the game. Zimmerman clapping, so are National fans. 2-1 after 1.5. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile. Its newest signal is more powerful, more reliable, and goes farther than ever, and it's built 5G ready. And by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. 26 pitch first inning for Scherzer. Ryan Zimmerman goes deep to give him a run. It's 2-1. Yordan Alvarez, the DH, then Martin Maldonado and Josh Reddick here in the second.
Well, Alvarez is coming off of a rough series against the Yankees. He's probably glad. I don't know what's going to happen in the National League because they lose the DH, but he's going to see typically the same pitcher a little bit more often in this series than he had in the previous series.
2-0 pitch. It is a strike on the outside edge.
They were throwing the kitchen sink at this guy, and they were doing a good job tying him up with fastballs. He got out of his groove a little bit, which is why he struggled against the Yankees.
Outside at 95, 3-1. 7 for 41 this postseason is Alvarez. He's 22 years old and the likely Rookie of the Year in the AL. Here's a 3-1 pitch. In at the knees. Jordan thought he had walked. Instead, he has to dig back in.
Threw it at the bottom of the zone with a fastball. Perfect. Wonder if he comes back with the changeup on 3-2, if he's got the feel for it.
That bounces in and a leadoff walk. Springer led off the first inning with a walk and came around to score. 4D Replay is sponsored by T-Mobile. As you see, the tag by Gurriel missed Kurt Suzuki. But Suzuki never did get to the bag. And so that out ended the top of this inning, and now a walk brings in Martin Maldonado. Breaking ball for a strike. See this with a lot of the great pitchers. It's definitely true with Scherzer. You got to get him early. The ERA by inning this year, regular and postseason, 5.23 in the first inning, 2.44 second inning on. A strike on Maldonado on a swing, in the count 0-2.
And already uncharacteristically a little bit wild. He walked the leadoff hitter. He rarely walks a right-handed batter. Got him in trouble and couldn't escape the 2-out double by Gurriel, and he starts off this inning walking Alvarez.
Time!
Late time granted by the home plate umpire Alan Porter. Don't know if it was Maldonado asking for it or Suzuki, the catcher. But Scherzer was just about to bring it home. The 7-time All-Star brings it. Suzuki blocks it. And Alvarez was ready to go, but Suzuki kept him at first. Nationals, the oldest team in Major League Baseball this season, averaging just over 31 years old as a group. Astros, fourth oldest. 35-year-old right-hander brings it, and Maldonado pops it into right. Easy play for Adam Eaton, 1 on, 1 out. And the number 9 man, Josh Reddick, walks to the plate. His one home run came in Game 3 of the ALCS at Yankee Stadium. 5 for 11 in his career against Scherzer. Ball 1.
Well, so far, the stat I gave you about how quickly Scherzer gets the 2 strikes in the first 3 pitches has not worked out in his favor early on. That's one of his strengths, and obviously makes him doubly tough when he can get to 2 strikes, because then he goes for the kill after that.
No, it's outside.
2-0. So the count in Reddick's favor. Runner at first, 1 down, and that's fouled away. StatCast is powered by AWS. We look at the spray chart for Josh Reddick. in the last 100 batted balls 200 feet or less. That's why they're swung around to the right.
And Reddick does a nice job with the balls down and will below the zone down.
Three balls and a strike. Alvarez saying thanks for the respect. Did not attempt a steal all year. Count 3-1. Counts full.
41 pitches already, and we're in the second inning, and that's the delight of how difficult it is to navigate the Houston lineup. They uncharacteristically struck out more in this postseason than they did in the regular season. They were the hardest team to strike out in the league.
Alvarez takes off on a pop-up out behind second base. Alvarez retreats. Turner has it. 2 down. So Scherzer fell behind Reddick. 3 balls and a strike. Came back and got him. And now we'll deal with George Springer. Astros won it all 2 years ago in 2017, and George Springer was the World Series MVP. Hit 5 home runs between games 2 and 7 against the Dodgers. Trying to go deep there and comes up empty.
And as I mentioned, was having an MVP season before he got hurt. I mean, he was so locked in, and the power and the average, and then of course the injury kind of derailed it a little bit. He's picked it up since he's been in the second half.
.96 for strike 2.
Just tell, just with his fastball, he's a little bit all over the place. When he makes that pitch down in his zone on that, and it holds that plane, hard to hit. But he's pulled a couple, and he's missing arm side to left-handers and pulling them to the right-handers.
That's down and in, 2-2.
And that's the pitch I think he's got to get going. That's what makes him so difficult. That'll tell you all you need to know about the command that Scherzer has. That's only the second time in his career. And here's the changeup. It just needs to start over the middle of the plate.
Just the second time in his career he walked the first batter in each of the first 2 innings of the ball game, trying to get around that leadoff walk. And now the count's full on Springer.
See, pulled it again. He has one of the strangest actions with his head when he throws the baseball. It almost looks like he's looking away from the plate. But his mechanics are unique to him. His mechanics are what makes him so difficult when he's on, because you cannot pick up the baseball.
Runner will go. And strike 3. And strikeout number 4 for Scherzer, who in this inning does get around a leadoff walk. Changeup gets Springer and sends game 1 into the 3rd. Astros up 1. did the Nationals get here? Bryce Harper walked down to the door and went to Philly. They got off to a 19-31 start, second worst in the National League. The bullpen ERA, the worst in the league. However, since they got off to that slow start, they have the best record in baseball if you include the postseason since May 24th. Second best rotation ERA in the game, and 49% of their runs this postseason have scored with 2 out.
That's magic when you do stuff like that. You know you got something special.
Breaking ball rolls in there from Garrett Cole, and we're underway with Victor Robles leading it off here in the 3rd inning. 2-1 Houston on top. Straight up on the infield, Yuli Gurriel has out number 1. Trey Turner led off the 1st inning with a single, then promptly stole second. And he stole the first base of this World Series. And with that, all of America wins free Doritos Locos Tacos. Stop by Taco Bell on October 30th from 2 to 6 p.m. to snag yours.
He is so important to the Nationals, table setter. But when he broke his finger, that's when they struggled.
Right at the base of the right index finger, 4 games into the season. They missed his defense, they missed his offense, they missed what he does on the bases.
The fact that he hits with 9 fingers on the bat.
Chop to third, easy for Bregman. 2 down.
Is an amazing transformation to a guy who's had to learn, and I'm sure he still has discomfort, but it has not lost his power, and certainly when he got back, the Nationals started rolling.
Yeah, I mean, he tied for his career high with his 19 home runs. And just the fact that he's had to relearn how to throw the ball, too, from the shortstop position tells you what kind of an athlete he is. Now Adam Eaton with 2 out and nobody on. Tried to bunt his first time to advance Turner to third and popped it up for an out. Strike 1. 3rd year with the Nationals for Eaton. Started with Arizona, went to the White Sox. Hit .279 during the year and quickly in the hole, 0-2.
And he can be a pest at the plate. I mean, he can work a pitcher's count up individually because he's had a ton of 8+ pitch at bats on the year. Be tough to get 8 pitches now down 0-2 against a great pitcher like Garrett Cole, but
99.
It just looks effortless, and I think, you know, what Garrett has figured out, of course, mechanical key is he repeats his delivery better than most pitchers. And the stress he relieves after delivering the ball is as good as anybody. He finishes like he's in good position to field the ball.
That is past Bregman into left. And Eaton is on with 2 out here in the 3rd inning to bring up Anthony Rendon. Top of the 3rd inning continues. Here comes the Nationals' best. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? And by Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser.
Let's see if Eaton gets an opportunity to steal a base, or at least the threat that he might steal a base. Look how he just slaps it by Bregman. Taking 99 miles an hour, not trying to do too much. And of course, they had him shaded.
Rendon comes up empty, strike 1. Well, you've got the likely top target in the free agent market in the pitching department, taking on the likely top target as a free agent in the hitting department in this upcoming offseason. That's a strike, and the count 0-2.
Rendon, as good as it gets. Plate discipline, letting the umpire know. I think that was off the plate. This guy's pretty good, and there's no way I can hit that. Face says it all.
The pride of Lamar High School. here in the area, played at Rice. Check swing. He did not go. And the Astro fielders, who had all taken 2 steps toward their dugout, have to go back.
Biggest thing is the bat. It looks like the body and everything goes forward, but the bat, somehow he's able to keep it from crossing home plate.
Boy, you have really changed.
Oh, as a pitcher, I thought they all went. Easy call.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 out. Astros up by 1. Throw down to first, and Eaton dives back in. Maldonado loves to do that. We talked to him about that during the ALCS. He said if a guy's holding a runner on, I don't really have to give a sign he's there. But he loves to throw behind runners.
And that's the equalizer for a team that wants to be as aggressive as they can on the bases with their leads after the pitch.
Here's a 2-2. Grew up in the southwest area of this city, attended Rice, about 4 miles from here. Sophomore season at Rice, he won the Dick Hauser Trophy, given to the National College Baseball Player of the Year. And they welcomed him home with a classy move. Wonderful guy. Waiting for a 2-2, and he fouls it back here. Played for Wayne Graham at Rice. Wayne, who won a national championship with the Owls back in 2003.
Well, he's having an awesome year. Timing couldn't be better for not only himself but the franchise. Big reason why they're here is Rendon's play at third base and offensively.
Runner goes, and a high fly ball into left center field. Back is Springer to end the inning. Rendon just got under it with a runner going, and that ends the top of the third. Astros coming to the plate, still leading 2-1. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. Under the roof at Minute Maid Park. Astros have called this place home since 2000. Scherzer deals the beloved Jose Altuve. Takes a strike.
It's a rarity there for Altuve. He probably was surprised he was going to get a fastball after he laced the last one in left field.
No.
Pretty good pitch called, ball 1. You mentioned it, 9 games, John, coming in. Game 1 of any postseason series, hitting .378. And he promptly singled into left, stole a base, scored a run in the first.
It's awesome just running into him, talking to him. He had one of the greatest moments you could have in ALCS history, and he said today, that's history. I already forgot about it. We got a job to do.
At least fans didn't. 2-1 pitch. Before the game, J.J. Watt was out there pumping up the crowd. He was wearing an Altuve jersey, and we know it wasn't authentic.
But my calculation, it's 5 real Altuve jerseys to fit that man. They had to put 5 of his together to fit his.
That's just your guess.
I did the math quick.
Here's a 2-2 to Altuve, and he jammed him. Fly ball into right field. Eaton has it. 1 down. Here's JJ.
Can't even imagine that human being chasing you trying to throw a football.
So beloved in this area and region, not just for what he does for the football team, but
community.
Yeah, the community. He just steps up every time. A good person. 1 out, nobody on. Michael Brantley, strike 1.
Well, this city, because of baseball now, it's become kind of a hotbed. Basketball's in the mix, football's in the mix, and this city is on fire with the Astros.
Strike 2 on Brantley. Scherzer needs a quick inning. Pitch number 56 on the night. Out of play. .42 pitches for Garrett Cole. He's through 3 innings. Max Scherzer up over 50 as he's trying to get through the 3rd. Pitch number 57.
No.
Check swing. He didn't go.
Starting to get a little more touch on that pitch. You can imagine after all those days off and trying to simulate a baseball game, which is difficult for everybody, hitting and pitching, Max is starting to look a little more comfortable. He started out of the gate really revving the engine with the velocity.
That's a line drive, base hit into right by Brantley. Looked like the pitch was up and Brantley jumped on it. Now 16 of 46 against Max Scherzer in his career.
Yeah, this is a cutter, and see how the side of his hand, the ball doesn't do much. It just kind of stays over the middle of the plate. To a great hitter, that is going to be like hitting it off a tee. And you can't say that very often when you're facing Scherzer and or Cole. So Brantley, one of the best professional hitters in the game. Not a lot of wasted movement at the plate.
They'll bring in Alex Bregman. We're still waiting to really kick it into gear here in the postseason.
Yeah, he's a little bit in between. He doesn't swing much and doesn't expand the zone.
Good pitch on the outside corner.
But because the pitchers have so much attention on that man, when he get the lineup card, they're circling him, and the Yankees pitched him great. He got on base via the walk, but to your point, I don't think has ever felt real comfortable being locked in like he was the second half of the year.
From August 1st through the end of the regular season, he was the best hitter in the American League. A.J. Hinch just smiles when you bring up the name Alex Bregman. Bursting with confidence. Waiting for an 0-1 pitch. That catches the inside corner in the count 0-2.
See, there's an example right there. The 2 best pitches you could throw to a guy like him. He'll basically say, okay, as a hitter, I just know what I can do about it. All right, I'm going to battle you with 2 strikes. The lowest swing percentage against right-handers, lowest swing percentage really in general. And he's confident with 2 strikes. That's what you're going to have to be when you're facing great pitching.
Struck him out. 95 with a grunt from Scherzer as he let it fly. That's strikeout number 5 for the Nationals right-hander. That'll bring in Yuli Gurriel. And his 2-run double in the first inning. Swing was a lot like his 3-run home run in Game 6 of the ALCS.
Yeah, you got to have great hands, and you got to collapse that left arm to be able to get to that pitch. Look how he just kind of let his left elbow get out of the way, and his hands did the rest on an inside pitch that looked like it would tie him up.
0-1.
I mean, he is so good against right-handers. It's a reverse split guy. Look how his elbow just kind of gives way to that top side or his right hand that does damage on a pitch so close to inner third of the plate.
And as a right-handed hitter, that swing is just made for this ballpark. Short porch and left, just 315. Those Crawford boxes that sit atop the manually operated scoreboard. That's where he hit his home run on Saturday night in the first inning. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Got it off the end of the bat. Long run. They were playing deep, and Robles can't get there. They're going to hold the runner at third, throw to the plate, and with that throw that was high, Gurriel takes second. As Robles could not make the diving catch, and now he's slow to get up.
You weren't kidding, he was playing deep. Wow. I mean, this ball's up there a good ways, and you can see how far he was back. And as he comes in and closes, he dives actually a little early where his glove comes off of his hand. So he committed early, and when he got to the point where he could have caught it, he's lost his glove.
Brantley went to third. The ball hits Robles in the back, and now we just had Dave Martinez come out to the home plate umpire, Alan Porter. And Alan is going to the other umpires to discuss maybe Gary Pettis at third base assisting the runner.
You're not allowed to touch the runner in any way to either slow him down or stop him.
And that really would be the only guess, because the ball was nowhere near the roof. Let's take a look down here at the bottom of the screen.
So he's winding him there, and then he's trying to stop him, and they're going to see if he made contact, which it looked like there was some contact from that angle. At this point, he's in a little bit of a panic mode to say stop, 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 and watch Brantley pick up his head a little too late. But
maybe he missed him. If he did, oh, he got the top of the, he got the jersey, but the umpires are getting together and they're not going to call anything here. Looked like just the hand right at the end of this. Somehow these two missed bumping into each other, but just right at the end. They have caught the jersey, but nobody saw it. And the runners are at second and third for Carlos Correa.
Right about now, in these first 3 innings, it's got to feel like about the 5th or 6th with the stress that the Astros have put on Scherzer already.
There's a strike.
Robles coming in fast. I rarely see a guy dive and start losing his glove on the way towards the ball.
And I'm with you. It looked like he just mistimed it. That's strike 2. The third base coach has to assist in advancing or returning the runner to the bag to be considered interference. There's the diving effort by Robles.
He did. He overdove, if that's proper English.
It's close enough. Scherzer trying to get around that. It goes a single, then Gurriel took second on the throw. And another good block by Suzuki on ball 1 in the dirt. So Gurriel 2 for 2 tonight. And a ball that when it left his bat, I'm sure he thought he was out number 3.
He's saying finally, with all that hard hit stuff that was finding the gloves, I'm getting some love.
It'll be at least 20 pitches each inning over the first 3 for Scherzer. Again, Suzuki.
See that changeup? He's really trying to make it finish down in the zone. He's really overthrowing this changeup, and when you overthrow a changeup, that's exactly what can happen. Such a big pitch for him.
2-2 to Correa. Got him swinging on a pitch down and away. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 6 in the ball game, 3 in the books. Astros lead it 2-1. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Indeed, the world's #1 job site, and by Steal a Base, Steal a Taco, only at Taco Bell. Enjoy every World Series moment with the MLB At Bat app. It's the one place to get all your Astros and Nationals action, including in-game highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, live radio feeds, and much more. Download MLB At Bat today. Well, here is this 20-year-old star, Juan Soto.
Tons of power in his young age and young swing.
That's ball 1 from Garrett Cole.
The second most home runs on what would be considered elevated fastballs. Something that Garrett Cole loves to do is pitch in the top of the zone with his fastball and then spin that breaking ball to change the eye level of the hitters.
Third youngest player, as you saw, to hit cleanup in a World Series, and he just cleaned up. Wow. Pitch was up. The game is tied, and that's up onto the railroad track atop the wall and left. 20 years old and just bursting with power.
I'm telling you, a lot of America doesn't know about this offense because they weren't on display in the first half. But this offense, with the old guys and the young guys, they're good fastball hitters, especially velocity. And this team that's been sitting for quite some time has found a way to tie the game.
And they have fun in that dugout, as they have really all season long, since they've added some pieces, and it has certainly been on display here in the postseason. 2-2 ball game. Home runs by Zimmerman and Soto. The old guy and the young guy, and this ball was pasted.
Now you can see belt high, and he takes the power of Cole and doesn't try to pull it. If you try to pull that ball, you got no chance. This guy's plate discipline is well beyond his years. At 20 and 21 years old, you're not supposed to do that in the big leagues. Don't tell that young man.
Now Kendrick. 1 ball, 1 strike. When Juan Soto stepped to the plate in the first inning tonight, number 2 on the all-time list as far as home runs and RBIs before the age of 21 to the great Mel Ott.
And you could tell early in his first at bat he was a little excited and overswung. And Cole was able to blow him away, and so you think that his maturity, again, he goes up there looking for a ball up and doesn't miss it. Man, that's hard to do when you've never been in the World Series in this kind of pressure.
Not fazed by the enormity of the stage and the spotlight and everything that goes with trying to see this through for the Washington Nationals, as they fell behind 2-0 to Garrett Cole, and here they are tied 2-2 in the 4th. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Kendrick fouls it away. Howie was a 10th round pick by the Angels in 2002. He's had a great career, and over the past 3 years has the top average across all of the major leagues. Here's another 2-2. Fly ball into right. And that is Reddick for out number 1. Tom Verducci, that kid Soto is something special.
Yeah, and this falls under the category of now it can be told. Yesterday, Nationals hitting coach Kevin Long told me that Soto was going to hit a home run off a high fastball from Garrett Cole. I said, that's Garrett Cole. That's the best four-seam elevated fastball in baseball. He said, I don't care, and I guarantee you, he used that word, I guarantee you Juan Soto will hit a home run off a high fastball from Garrett Cole. Wow. Wow. Is right.
Like a little Joe Namath moment between Kevin Long. There he is. He has for a long time been a terrific hitting coach in the big leagues. long time with the Yankees, and he called it.
I've heard a ton of people talk about what he has done as a hitting coach to the careers of a lot of guys, and really, again, offensively in the National League, they're going to probably be lesser known offenses comparatively to the American League, mainly because of the DH, but the Washington Nationals held their own offensively in their league.
0-2 on Asdrubal Cabrera. Cole ties him up, gets strikeout number 3 and out number 2 here in the 4th. Last time Garrett Cole gave up 2 home runs in the same ball game was August 7th here in Houston against Colorado. That ball was up on the tracks, and it's still sitting up there.
Could be an issue after the game, unless somebody goes and gets that. I don't think they'll be able to open the roof.
With 2 out, the batter is Zimmerman, who takes a strike. Guy nicknamed Bobby Dynamite is the engineer of that third train.
He doesn't want to get it.
I don't think he looks like he's in any hurry to go get it. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out, nobody on. There's Bobby's view. He's perfectly happy right there, sitting behind the wheel of the train. I assume it has a wheel. Is that a wheel? It just,
well, this
just goes.
This particular train only goes forward and backwards.
Oh, okay. No circles. One ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Zimmerman. Strikeout ends the inning, but the Nationals have tied it. Zimmerman in the 2nd, and then the kid. Wow. Kevin Long called it. They celebrate in a 2-2 game, 4th inning. Well, a guy who turned 35 back in September went deep to make it 2-1, and a guy who will turn 21 the day of Game 3 in D.C. just went deep to tie the ball game 2-2.
And you know, the guy at the plate who dominated the second half of baseball since he got called up would like to get on that same track and get this crowd back roaring.
And he's 22 years old. And the 35-year-old pitcher delivers it. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Alvarez walked his first time. You talked about the struggles during the ALCS. 1 for 22, 12 strikeouts against Yankee pitching. When he connects, they go far. That's up the middle and almost took Scherzer with it. Alvarez with A.J. Hinch hoping he can heat up on to start the 4th.
No clean innings so far for the great one, Scherzer. And there's the changeup. He stays right up the middle. Scherzer was hoping they were playing up the middle, but to no avail.
Now Maldonado.
For a catcher, he can handle the bat. He can bunt. He can hit and run.
Jabs at it there, strike 1. Juan Soto, by the way, just became the 4th youngest to hit a home run in a World Series. John, do you know who the youngest is on that list?
I sure do, and he did it twice. His first 2 at bats. It wasn't Chipper Jones.
No,
but it was Andrew Jones
back in '96 at Yankee Stadium. Maldonado shows bunt early, and those have not been very good efforts, although that's easy for me to say from back here because I'm not trying to bunt Max Scherzer.
He normally is pretty good handling the bat, and a little smirk out of AJ uncharacteristically has not looked like he's ever done it before, but
Well, now Scherzer's thinking, okay, thank you for those, and I'd like to now put you away.
A lot of his bunts sometimes will come against the shift or when a guy's playing way back.
He had a bunt base hit in Game 6 of the ALCS. Just beat the throw down the line. Here comes an 0-2 from Scherzer. Another block by Suzuki, who has put on a clinic back there on how to get down on balls in the dirt. We're only in the 4th inning.
He's put on a clinic. He really has. This is not easy.
Here's the last one. And now the 1-2 pitch from Scherzer to Maldonado. Martin started the year with the Cubs. Was part of 3 deals that this Houston organization made. Trading deadline day at the end of July. The biggest piece was acquiring Zach Greinke, who will work Game 3. That's in the dirt from 0-2 to 3-2.
And again, uncharacteristically for Scherzer, when you get a guy 0-2, he puts him away fast. But that changeup, I said coming in, was going to be an important pitch. He has not been able to really lock in with that pitch.
Already the 6th full count for Scherzer. That's how one of the reasons why that pitch count is as high as it is. Pitch number 78. High fly ball into left. Should be handled, and it is by Soto, who comes in ready to throw. Back to first, Alvarez. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the brand to earn the most J.D. Power quality awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs over the last 4 years. Here comes Reddick, who popped up his first time.
To do what Max does.
I think that hit. I think Reddick is saying, John, that that swing caught the mitt of Suzuki. It certainly sounded funny. And A.J. Hinch is going to come out and discuss. Yeah. Here it is.
You okay?
So instead of catcher's interference, it goes down as strike 1, as nobody else evidently saw it. Neither that play nor the coaching at third situation, touching the runner, assisting the runner, are reviewable.
Right.
But Suzuki and the Nationals caught a break there. Oh, 1.
No.
Outside.
One of the things I was going to say, for Max Scherzer to do what he does at his age, and certainly as long as he's done it, and pitch as deep in the year as he does, he's in great shape, trains for it, and you could see how much energy he exerts to throw a baseball.
One pitch.
No, it's outside.
It is outside.
And what's funny is early in his career, what everyone thought would lead to injuries and mechanical breakdowns led to the trade from the Diamondbacks. And I think for a guy like him, when you hear stuff like that, you use that as a little chip on your shoulder for the rest of your career. You go, oh, really? I'm going to be able to show you I'm going to be physically fit. I'm going to be able to be nasty with these mechanics. And he certainly has.
Here comes a 2-1. Little pop-up, shallow left. Soto, a long run. He is there for out number 2. So just to be clear, had the home plate umpire or any of the umpires seen that swing caught the glove of Suzuki before that ball came in, it would have been catcher's interference. It would have been an error on Suzuki and put Reddick on at first. They didn't see it or didn't hear it. And an out on that pop-up into left is the result. Here it is again.
Yeah, you can see definitely that happened. There was a play earlier in the series against the Yankees where a foul ball was called against Sanchez on a swing. That too is not an ability to review it, and he got an extra swing in an incredible tense moment and ended up striking out. I just wonder in the future if some of those things might be adjusted to being reviewable.
It certainly would take the pressure off the umpire in a loud stadium for hearing something like that. 1 on, 2 out. Springer up on the count here, 2-0.
I'm just telling you right now, Max is battling with everything that he knows with his career, his experience, everything he's been through. He is battling with his mechanics and trying to fight through this game.
You've been there.
Oh, I'm telling you, and really it's the years of his being through just about everything that allows him to get through this point, especially in Game 1 of the World Series. All that rest, everything you worked so hard to do to get here, and you know you're going up against Garrett Cole. It's going to be hard to take him out of the game when that pitch count gets to about 115 if he's able to get to that point. I'm talking to Dave Martinez. I said, what was it like this year when Max was struggling physically? How hard was it to get him off the mound? He said it was difficult because he pours into everything he does.
Making his second World Series start. He falls behind Springer, a dangerous hitter, 3-1 in a tie game 4th inning.
Well, he's going to have to dial up one of his best sliders if he's going to get Springer out on a 3-1 count. Dead fastball hitter Altuve on deck. You can't cave and just lay one in there against Springer. And there it was. What a great pitch. On a 3-1 count, you could tell Springer thinking fastball the whole way. That is pitching under the circumstances and making it count. After that pitch, he could go back to the fastball if he wants, because now he's put it in the head of Springer.
Runner will go. That's Alvarez. 2 out. 3-2 pitch. 2 on for Altuve. Tom?
The Astros are showing what they've done all year, Joe. They get the fewest strikeouts on pitches out of the zone. The Nationals pitchers, that's how they get their strikeouts. They led the major leagues getting chase swings. Max Scherzer is not able to get the chase swings tonight. Give credit to the Houston hitters.
They've done a nice job, especially staying off the changeup, but unfortunately for Max Scherzer, hasn't thrown enough changeups close enough to even tempt the Houston hitters.
Well, who else would the Astros rather have up there? Jose Altuve, 2 on, 2 out. Fouled back. This Astros team, how do you win 107 games? Strikeouts a big part of it. They had the fewest strikeouts by their hitters and the most strikeouts by their pitchers.
Yeah, tremendous gap between the two. And Max is going to have to get the ball down to Altuve. Altuve had one of the weaker contact exit velocity on pitches down, but we've already documented what he does on pitches up.
A leadoff single, a 2-out walk. After Soto tied this game in the top of this fourth. Strike 2.
That's better for Max. What happens with 2 strikes in tonight's game? He's just overamped sometimes to make that kill pitch. You can see Altuve almost coming off his feet, swinging at that pitch.
Scherzer, 2-2. So over 20 pitches in every inning for Max Scherzer. 40 out of the strike zone.
Yeah, that's not typical Max. But this is not your typical offense he faces on a daily basis either.
And not your typical night at the old ballpark. Game 1 of the World Series. 2-2 pitch. 2 on, 2 out. Chopper to third is foul.
Well, the best you can hope for here, obviously, is trying to put up a 0 and get one more inning out of Max. You see the number at 93 already. No matter what happens, the Astros have kind of executed their game plan to perfection.
Another full count and another head start for the lead runner, Yordan Alvarez. The trail runner Springer will go as well.
Right now Max is going to his computer. He's deep in his brain trying to figure out what pitch he has to a great hitter on a 3-2 pitch that he could entice him to swing at.
Runners go. Altuve fights it off. .78 of the 95 pitches Scherzer has delivered in this game have come out of the stretch. Runners go. Off the end of the bat, Scherzer has to get over and cover, which he does. And the Astros now have stranded 6. We've played 4, tied at 2. Back to after a word from your local Fox station. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV on Fox. 2-2 ball game. Game 1 of the World Series. Top of the 5th inning rolls in. Neither side has been retired. 1, 2, 3 in the ball game yet. And for Washington, it'll be Kurt Suzuki, Victor Robles, and Trey Turner.
Let's see, catchers have struggled in this postseason for both teams. Done a nice job receiving and calling pitches for heavy starting pitchers. Kurt Suzuki would much rather hit a 4-seam fastball, even though it's 98 off of Cole, than a curveball. He is 0 for against the curveball when he puts it in play.
Suzuki had a nice offensive year, hit some big home runs for the Nationals. 17 total, but so far 1 for 21 in this postseason. He's already shown his worth with what he's done at the plate with the gear on. Blocking pitches in the dirt, keeping runners from advancing, and the count is in his favor, 3-1.
That's a great take. Talked about his kryptonite being the curveball, so now he can sit and sell out fastball location. If it's in the area he likes it, best chance to get a hit all night.
Instead, he draws a leadoff walk, and that's the first walk handed out by Garrett Cole.
If you think being a big league hitter is easy facing a guy like Garrett Cole, good luck. This is a fastball and a curveball coming out of the same slot. Watch the curveball disappear. Watch the fastball just kind of hold its plane as it goes. That's the decision you have to make as a hitter when it leaves his hand. What pitch am I seeing? At 99 miles an hour is his best fastball, and 82 miles an hour is his curveball. That is a perfect scenario.
Robles shows bunt, takes a strike. Victor's only 22. Had a strained right hamstring that happened in Game 2 of the division series. Didn't come back until Game 3 of the NLCS. Hitting .319 over his last 21 games coming in. 0-2.
See, that is where people will get upset about people who are trying to bunt, because you got to give up of yourself to bunt. You can't really bunt for a base hit in this situation off of Garrett Cole, and if you're mechanically sound, even though he's throwing 100, a pitch that breaks, a breaking ball, is the easiest pitch for a guy who knows how to bunt to put it fair.
Instead, he gets a base hit into right. So he tries to bunt. First 2 pitches, falls in the hole and shoots one through pretty wide open right side of the infield. Good piece of hitting here by Robles.
Yeah, another young star for the Nationals, and now a guy who really can handle the bat in Turner.
Old 9 fingers. Had a fracture at the base of his right index finger. 4 games into the season, he keeps that finger off the bat. That gets away from Maldonado, but not far enough. Ball 1. Opportunity here for the Nationals in a 2-2 game. Opening game of this World Series.
Well, Turner, like any guy that has power, likes the ball inner 30, likes the ball inside. The fastball on the inner part of the plate where he can do damage. That's where he's slugging.
Hammered foul. 26-year-old shortstop, part of this good young core. 19 home runs last year, 19 home runs this year. Tough to double up as well. 1-1.
Now for the first time, Garrett Cole's in a little bit of a stress situation. The 2 runs he gave up were home runs, so he never had to change pitching out of the windup. Now out of the stretch. Different situation.
2-1 pitch. Check swing. He didn't go in the count. 3-1. Well, Max Scherzer has been battling seemingly from the first pitch of the ball game, but he has kept the Astros to their 2 runs. His teammates have come back to tie it, and now a chance to give Scherzer and the Nationals their first lead of the game. Into right. Reddick to his left, makes the catch. Suzuki tags and will make it to third. First and third, 1 down. Good base running by the Washington catcher.
That was a good read now with Eaton, who was also tough to double up. Getting to third base with less than 2 outs.
Ken Rosenthal is field level. Ken, how do you assess the layoff that the Nationals had to deal with?
Well, Joe, a lot was made of it, but the players thought it was actually going to work to their benefit. And here's why. It's not just that they're an older club, but Anthony Rendon has missed only 2 games since early May. Trey Turner, 1 since mid-May. Juan Soto has appeared in 133 straight. On top of all that, they had 2 cross-country flights during the division series. So the players feel that downtime after the NLCS gave their bodies time to recover.
First and third, 1 out. Eaton waits. Good pitch for a strike. Woo! Since 2012, the team with less rest going into the World Series, in this case the Astros, have gone 6-1. The exception to all that, the Red Sox last year. And Davey Martinez called Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, to ask him how he and Boston dealt with the time off before the World Series. That's into right field. A base hit. In to score Suzuki, and the Nationals are on top. A walk, a single, a fly ball, and now a base hit by Adam Eaton. His 5th RBI of this postseason, and it's 3-2 Nationals here in the 5th.
Got a breaking ball. He broke his bat. You see the spin on that slider. Breaks the bat, but he's able to get it up over the infield. And that bat was rewarded for a base hit and an RBI.
And that bat went down a winner. And now 2 on, only 1 out for Anthony Rendon. It's been a while since Garrett Cole has been on the short end. Broken bat, ground ball out at second and safe at first. The inning continues with 2 out as Rendon beat it, and that broken bat hit the very top of the screen at the top of the Nationals dugout.
Well, that bat went flying, and an in-between hop that Bregman was able to get, and a good turn, but just beat it out was Rendon.
Good call by first base umpire Doug Eddings.
Well, 2-out magic has been something that the Nationals have been living on in the postseason.
One of their 3 runs in tonight's game scoring with 2 out. 49% of their runs this postseason scoring with 2 out coming in. Soto out of the way of ball one.
When you think about how improbable the Nationals' journey here is, you only have to go back to the wild card game against one of the best relievers in baseball, trailing against Milwaukee. They rallied against Hader, won that game, and then did the same thing again in Game 5 in LA. That man at the plate, a huge home run.
He was also the guy that delivered the hit in the 8th inning against Hader and the Brewers. They were down 3-1, bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. Soto delivered an error by the right fielder. 3 runs scored. Nationals moved on. Down 2-1 to the Dodgers. Came back. Down 3 runs in Game 5 in LA. Came back. And now here they are after a 4-game sweep of the Cardinals in the NLCS. Down 2-0 after 1. They lead 3-2 as we play in the 5th. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to Juan Soto. 3-1.
Pretty incredible respect for the young man, but the situation obviously calls for a really good secondary pitch when you're behind 3-0.
Nationals lead, a chance for more. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Full count.
One of the first changeups we've seen too. What a time to pull that one out. Wow.
Soto agrees. Runner at first will go. That's Rendon. That's well hit into left field. Back and off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Rendon. He'll score 2. And the Nationals now lead by 3. Soto delivers again.
Kid's unbelievable. He spit on one of these earlier in the count, but then he goes with the pitch. Backdoor slider. Doesn't try to do too much. In an era where home runs, walks, and strikeouts are king, and you understand why, this guy doesn't really fall into that. Has such plate awareness for a young age, and his swing's going to play for a long time, by the way. It's not going to be one of those that goes away.
So Eaton scored easily, but because the count was full, Rendon got that head start, and that allowed him to score all the way from first. As Brent Strom, the pitching coach, comes out to talk to Garrett Cole, as the 20-year-old has driven in 3 runs tonight.
What'd we say? 2-out magic.
More of it. Last time Garrett Cole gave up as many as 5 runs was in that loss on May 22nd. That's the last time he took a loss. Houston 16-0 in his last 16 starts. He's won his last 19 decisions, but it matters the most now. And the Nationals lead 5-2 with a chance for more here in the 5th as Howie Kendrick fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. Kendrick 0 for 2. Kendrick was going to be nice and stop that ball as Maldonado was going to get it as it trickled away. It was a live ball. It's fine with nobody on, but it's the kind of guy how he is. Here's a 1-1. Hard hit. Diving catch by Correa. And that saves another run. But big damage done in the 5th inning by the visiting Washington Nationals. Now leading by 3 halfway through game 1 behind Max Scherzer. Welcome back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV. A star, if he hasn't been born already, is being born here tonight for the Washington Nationals and across MLB, Juan Soto. He's got a 3 RBI night, a homer in the 4th, a 2-out 2-run double a moment ago, and it's 5-2 for Scherzer. Now the Astros want to go to work, and the count 1 ball 1 strike on Michael Brantley.
Well, Scherzer has survived this because he is a grinder and easily could have given up a few more runs with this Astros lineup, but
here's one into center, hard hit, but Robles is there. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that's pitch number 99. As we will welcome you inside the broadcast booth as Alex Bregman will dig in. I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz and our expert analysis. It's just going to be a shutdown pitching night. There's already been 7 runs on the board. We're not even we're just over halfway through this thing.
Yeah, it's been impressive. I mean, neither pitcher has been obviously right on their game, but I said these offenses can make great pitching have to work, and that's what they've made them do. They've made them work. They haven't expanded the zone, and I think Scherzer, in a game that I've rarely get to see grind out, he is grinding out. 5 innings would be an incredible outing for a guy who routinely goes 7.
Patrick Corbin, the left-hander, is getting loose. There's a lot to talk about with that. 1-1 pitch.
No.
That's outside to Bregman, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Davey Martinez has not announced who the starters will be when this series shifts to DC, because he wants to see how these first 2 games go. And that's why Corbin is out there getting loose. He is a big piece of these first 2 games here in Houston. That's a strike. The bullpen was not good in the regular season for the Nationals. It got better down the stretch, and it's been really good at the very end of their bullpen this postseason. But that middle part, it's gettable, and that's why Corbin is getting loose. He's their number 3 starter. 2-2, full count.
And you're right. They would love for nothing else to get to at least the 8th inning, possibly the 7th, with the lead. And if they can find a couple out eaters before then, looks like Corbin could be that guy.
(3-2) to Bregman. Jammed him a bit. Turner, long throw, dig by Zimmerman. Good play on both ends, and Bregman is 0 for 3, and it took a good play to get him here in the 5th.
Talked about Turner with that finger. How about Zimmerman with that scoop?
Good play by the vet, 35-year-old, who, I was saying it during his first at bat when he homered to center, dealt with plantar fasciitis during the year. Eventually that issue resolved itself is it just snapped in the bottom of his foot. He said he felt it in the heel, and almost immediately it was just total relief. So when we asked him before the game, how do you feel? He said, I feel great. And he's hit like it. And he's former Gold Glove Award winner over at first base. He's a good player.
No.
And he has been a good player for a long time.
He has, and getting rewarded for a long journey from the Expos to the Nationals to the World Series.
1 ball, 1 strike. This franchise was founded in 1969 as an expansion team in Montreal as the Expos. Eventually MLB had to purchase the team in 2002. They moved to DC in 2005, played at RFK Stadium. Zimmerman, their first draft pick back in 2005. Here's one fouled, backing out of play. This franchise is in its first World Series. DC will host its 4th. 1924, 1925, 1933, the last time they were in the Fall Classic, known then as the Senators. 2-2 pitch, foul. With that, a reminder that tonight's telecast is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. First version of the Senators, 1901. Charter member of the American League. Moved to Minneapolis after 1960 season. Second go around, an expansion team. 61 eventually went to Texas. Mike Rizzo, an outstanding baseball man and the general manager, president of baseball operations. He's been the GM since 2009. 2-2 pitch. That is the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for either side, and it belongs to Max Scherzer, who throws 16 pitches in the 5th and sends game 1 into the 6th. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by 3M Science, applied to life, and by Charles Schwab, own your tomorrow. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. A run in the 4th on a homer by Soto. 3 runs in the 5th for the Nationals, all after the veteran Ryan Zimmerman went deep in the 2nd, and it's 5-2 Nationals as Garrett Cole deals with Asdrubal Cabrera and misses with ball 1. That's a strike at 97. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, this team was playing great baseball at the end of September going into the postseason. And I know they've had a lot of days off, but they're coming off of 5 in a row.
Strike 2.
They got to believe as a group with that blended, talked about they're the oldest team in baseball, but the way that blended their clubhouse and the atmosphere has changed and the culture. They're probably saying, why not us?
Here's a 1-2 pitch. I think it took veterans leading this clubhouse when they were 19 and 31 on the morning of May 24th. They turned it around. Best record, including the postseason since then. Game better than the Astros. Cabrera is on to start the inning. After a 91 RBI year over 2 teams in 2 leagues, He is now 2 for 12 this postseason, 1 for 3 tonight. And action starts now for Houston in their bullpen. Again, this is not a team that's relying on the home run ball. They want to make contact. They want to get on. They want to steal bases. They want to sacrifice, move runners up.
Yeah.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman, 1 for 2. Right side should be flipped. They turned it. Two out, nobody on, and Kurt Suzuki will be the hitter. And now a quick word from Roman Health.
Get started with your free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, proud partner of Major League Baseball.
John, that goes down as a 4-6-3 double play. It was hard hit, but easily turned once Altuve made the play. And here's Suzuki.
Well, Suzuki started all this with a walk in the previous inning. He got this going for the Nationals, and then a base hit ensued, and uncharacteristic walks out of a couple pitchers tonight that don't walk very many, although Cole coming off of, we talked about, a little rusty game against the Yankees.
Fly ball into shallow center. Altuve is out, and Cole faces 3 in the 6th. Bottom half rolls in. Looks like Corbin is coming into the ball game for the Nationals, up 3. Well, you can see that the postseason has brought more appearances out of the bullpen than as a starter for Patrick Corbin. Big free agent addition coming into this season, giving the Nationals a strong 1-2-3. But he is now into the ball game, trying to pick up where Max Scherzer left off with a 5-2 lead in the 6th.
Key's going to be how many fastballs he throws for strikes.
No, that's inside.
Because he's got one of those devastating sliders, but his command has been a little off this postseason, maybe a little bit of it amped up. So fastball command Key, and then off of that he throws that slider that disappears.
Carlos Correa struck out twice against Scherzer, and that's strike 1. Corbin got a 6-year, $140 million deal in December of 2018 to come to the Nationals, as Washington outbid everybody. Here's a 2-1. 2-2.
And that's the one pitch that Correa historically struggles off of left-handers. That hard biting slider, that was not the version you'll see. This one should, if he goes to 2-2 slider, be a little bit sharper. Try to get it to the back foot of the right-handed hitter. He did not bite. There's the break, but discipline, discipline, discipline is what Houston has been being preached to.
Three-two pitch, struck him out. Same delivery, and this time Correa went after it and one away in the 6th.
That was nasty. That one was harder and in the zone a little bit longer. See, it starts in the zone and then disappears out of the zone. One thing the Astros hitters did the previous series was on their 3-2 counts were a little more aggressive than normal, and this time expands the zone and gets a strikeout.
I want to give you the numbers for Max Scherzer tonight. First, it's Yordan Alvarez, who's been on base twice with a walk and a single. Lefty on lefty here, and that's not something that bothers Yordan.
But he does not. He needs to not miss a fastball if he gets it.
It bounces in, ball 1. Scherzer threw 112 pitches, had 9 full counts. 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. The 2 runs coming with that 2-out, 2-run double in the first. 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. And John, I know you appreciate a guy who didn't have his best command, but man, he gave it everything he had and really battled here tonight.
It was amazing. If you could see how he threw and the fact that he only gave up 2 runs, and those 2 runs were in that first inning, there wasn't really, I mean, the only way you can say is he grinded through it.
Good pitch here on 2-0. It's 2-1 now on Alvarez.
The only 1-2-3 inning was the very last inning that he pitched.
Two-1 is ripped into right field, and Alvarez starting to heat up. On base for the 3rd time tonight, 2 for 2 with a walk. Let's go back to what Max Scherzer can do and watch him work tonight.
Well, there's the pitches that you're trying to recognize if you're a hitter. See how it comes out of that lower 3/4 slot, and then they're all going to do different things. The fastball, you can see how he can ride it. The changeup, that wasn't his best of the night. Changeup is usually one of his better pitches, and that breaking ball can be devastating on right-handed hitters. So all in all, it was, and I'm sure Max will say, one of the hardest games he's ever pitched. But only gave up 2 runs and gave his team a chance to win.
And his team has come back, scored the last 5 runs of the ball game. Nationals lead by 3. Here's Maldonado. Martin Maldonado 0 for 2 on the night. 1 ball, 1 strike at 94 from Corbin. You know, it's all up in the air with regard to who gets the ball when. But you wonder now if this means Sanchez gets the ball in game 3 on Friday, and then we see Patrick Corbin come back around as a starter on Saturday in game 4.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Sanchez has been awesome for the Nationals.
1-1 pitch here. That's inside. All Sanchez did was throw 7 2/3 innings of no-hit ball in game 1 of the NLCS at St. Louis. Here's a 2-1. Fooled him. 2-2.
That seems like a month ago to him, I'm sure. You know, there's no design on a perfect way to get to the World Series. You just want to get to the World Series, but they were so dominant, were the Nationals, that they did it in 4 games and have been itching to get here.
Aledmys Diaz on deck. It's a foul ball.
So in a perfect world, he eats up this inning. Rainey eats up the 7th. And then it gets in the territory of Doolittle and Hudson.
There's a rookie, Tanner Rainey, who has been so good this postseason and really down the stretch. Another 2-2 pitch to Martin Maldonado is fouled again.
Can I just tell you, he throws a bazillion, but in that bullpen, it's going to sound like 100. I mean, it's down there and not a dungeon, but the ball's going to pop.
Like warming up in a wine cellar.
Yeah.
2-2. Full count. Here you go.
That's where you go if you need to feel good about your fastball at 90.
let alone 98, 99, 100. "3-2. Struck him out. 2 out in the inning, and Diaz will bat for Reddick. This Friday with the World Series on Fox, SmackDown moves for one time only to FS1. All the great SmackDown superstars in action live at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, then re-airing at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on FS1.
They're not going to come in the booth and blame us, are they?
I hope not. If they do, I'll hide behind you. Here's Diaz, who so far this postseason 0 for 7 coming off the bench. He's got pop, not a big guy, former All-Star in his first year in the big leagues with St. Louis. Went deep 20 times that season. '94 from Corbin. Fouled away, strike 2.
Well, now Corbin can go after the strikeout down in the zone with that hard biting slider. A couple pitches to make that.
Up the middle, backhanded stop, Cabrera. Nationals had the second baseman as Drupal Cabrera in a perfect spot. 5-2 after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. 7th inning now for game 1 of this World Series. 5-2 ball game, and the Nationals bat 9-1-2. Robles first up, takes a strike. Poured in from Garrett Cole. Aledmys Diaz stays in the game. He goes to left. Michael Brantley goes from left to right.
Well, if you're the Astros and you're like, okay, Garrett Cole went 7 innings, that's usually a pretty good formula. But unfortunately, he's down 5-2 to some clutch 2-out hitting, mainly by the youngster and Mr. Soto.
Good to see Ryan Presley able to give it a go in this World Series. We thought we saw the end of his season in Game 6 of the ALCS when covering first base. On a ball hit by Didi Gregorius. As Robles strikes out for out number 1 here in the 7th. That right leg kind of went limp. He had surgery on it in August, and he said it was just scar tissue that was releasing. Can understand why he'd be scared a bit, but he proved to the Astros he was good to go for the next round. He's getting loose. 5 strikeouts now for Cole. Outside, ball 1 to Trey Turner. And now ball 2.
Well, this crowd is stunned. They got off to a great start with a 2-0 lead, and then Washington, as they have really the whole second half offensively, they've been finding a way.
There's ball 3. Cole and Scherzer this postseason, the first 3 series compared to tonight. That's a strike, so the count 3-1. More earned runs against those two in 11 1/3, and scored against them in Just under 43 total innings. 3-1 pitch.
And the amazing thing, I think it's all but one run, right? All of them have been with 2 outs. And that is just against a great pitcher. That is, you just don't see it very often. And they were able to do that in the first. Once looked like Scherzer was getting out of his trouble, and then the big 2-out hit scored those 2 runs.
Three-two pitch. All the way. Postseason is anything but predictable, and this year more than 600,000 fans across the country predicted how October would unfold. The MLB Postseason Bracket Challenge presented by MGM Resorts. $250,000 on the line. Less than 2,000 brackets remain perfect. Another 3-2, another foul ball. 99 from Garrett Cole as he just went over 100 pitches. He's at 101, 7 of them in this at bat by Trey Turner. Came back to get him. Back-to-back strikeouts and 2 out in the top of the 7th. Little something to file away as you watch this strikeout by Garrett Cole. The last 10 teams to post a come from behind win in Game 1 of the World Series have gone on to win the World Series. It was 2-0 Houston after 1. 2-1 after 2, 2-2 after 4. It's now 5-2 Washington here in the 7th. Strike 1 to Adam Eaton. Eaton right in the middle of it, back in the 5th. With an RBI single, a run scored, gets this one off the end of the bat. Brantley has it. A 1-2-3 inning. First of the night for Cole. Time to stretch in Game 1.
Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body liner. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body liner.
Baseball's brightest and best on display here tonight. Our Budweiser game summary. Yuli Gurriel with a 2-out, 2-run double in the first inning against Max Scherzer. But Scherzer would shut it down after that. Ryan Zimmerman with a home run. 38th to homer in his first World Series at bat. And then Juan Soto kind of taken over at the plate. 3 RBIs tonight as Tanner Rainey, the rookie right-hander, hits triple digits right out of the gate and gets it by the bat of George Springer as we're underway in the bottom of the 7th.
This is the wild card for the Nationals. This guy's been so good down the stretch. When he throws strikes, he can be unhittable. Wait till you see the slider after a fastball. Woo! It just disappears at 91. So this young man, when he commands the baseball anywhere close to the strike zone, is going to be tough to hit.
His last 8 games of the season had an ERA of 0. He's been good in the postseason, trying to bridge the gap to their now closer Daniel Hudson, with the left-hander Sean Doolittle in the mix as well. Hudson is up in the 7th. The reluctant closer. Here's a 2-1. High fly ball to left center. Back at the wall. It is gone. It's a 2-run game as Springer hits his 14th career postseason home run.
One of the best fastball hitting power leadoff guys in our game. The best slugging on fastballs in Major League Baseball.
So now Altuve takes 100 miles per hour for strike one. Crowd's back.
Crowd's back. The Astros were never out of it with their offense.
Strike two.
And this young man's getting his first test of on the road in the World Series. Doesn't seem phased at this point. See if he can drop that slider after 2 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Wow. I mean, at home you have no real appreciation of what that's like. But if he starts this pitch anywhere close in that box that you're seeing at home, which, I mean, Altuve's as good as it gets. You could see how he even almost went after a pitch that was so far out of the zone. It's hard to cover 191 with 2 different planes.
And there you go. Nasty for out number 1. Let's go back to the home run by Springer.
Well, you got a hittable count and a fastball down. And when you got a good stroke like that, you just let the power of the pitcher and the smooth stroke of Springer do the work. And that's exactly what happened. Power will not make this guy nervous or unnerved by his mechanics at the plate. Brantley.
Very quiet hitter at the plate. Not a lot of movement. Not a big leg kick. His dad played in the big leagues with Seattle. 1 for 3 tonight. Up on the count here, 1-0.
And I would say not a big heartbeat. Probably slow.
98 misses, 2-0.
A guy like him in batting practice probably trains himself to not swing at every pitch that's thrown at him just for the sake of batting practice.
3-0.
And that's the only issue with a guy like Rainey, and that's why Hudson's up. Because the Nationals cannot afford to let this game get away when they have the lead against Garrett Cole.
Here's a 3-0. A 4-pitch walk. They're going to meet at the mound, and we'll give you a quick word from Old Dominion.
Old Dominion consistently goes the distance to be #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
It's a tricky situation here for Rainey. Good meeting at the mound. A guy who doesn't swing a lot on first pitches in Bregman, but I don't think you could take a chance here. I think you have to throw a first pitch slider, even though he doesn't hit with that pitch very often for strikes. It's just a dangerous kind of cat and mouse game. When does Bregman let it fly on the first pitch?
And when does he break out? Hasn't happened yet in the postseason. And there's the slider, and it misses ball 1.
That's a great pitch, and you just tip your hat. And you might be able to follow it up with another one. This is one of the best in Bregman. It not expanding the strike zone. He gets up on the plate. He dares the pitcher to throw it inner half of the plate.
And it misses again, 2-0. The overriding theme, especially for these first 2 games, which team is going to have to go to their bullpen first? The answer, the Nationals, even though they're leading. There's some question marks down there with guys who have to prove it. Cole's still in there for Houston, now 3-0, and 7 in a row have missed from Rainey.
There's not a lot of hitters in the lineup that would get 3-0 with those 3 pitches. I'm just telling you, to the discipline of Bregman. That's why he's an MVP candidate. That's why he's one of the best players in this lineup. Those 3 pitches, especially the first 2, would have had a lot of guys swinging from their heels.
Watch out here on 3-0. Willing to take at 98. It's 3-1. Better at the end of the year for Rainey, but overall in the regular season, 38 walks and 48 1/3 innings pitched. Let's see if he can come back or if Bregman gets him. Strike 2, good pitch inside corner at 99.
All right, young man, now you get to see what you're made of. You got back to the count at 3-2. Here we go. He's got a great arm and a great future. And in games like this, as the series goes on, Dave Martinez cannot afford to lose a guy like this mentally, right? So he's got to make sure this probably would be his last hitter if he loses him, I would think, just to make sure you have him the entire series in high leverage situations.
It's all about the present now. Runner goes. Ball 4. And here comes Davey Martinez with 2 on, 1 out. Yuli Gurriel coming up. Daniel Hudson is coming in. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV on Fox. This week starts Saturday strong with the biggest game in the country on Big Noon Saturday. Number 13 Wisconsin looks to bounce back against number 3 Ohio State. Big mid-season showdown. Coverage begins with Big Noon kickoff on site in Columbus at 11 Eastern on Fox. During the pitching change, they're looking at the iPads down there outside the dugout. Every Major League ball club uses iPad today to analyze stats and scouting reports and make in-game decisions. The iPad helps give managers and players the ability to evaluate and visualize key matchups, check out video of a hitter coming up, dive deeper into StatCast data, and a lot more. Here's Daniel Hudson with 2 on, 1 out. He's been closing games. He deals with Gurriel. Fouled back on a pitch that was up. Former starter in the big leagues with his 3rd organization this season. Picked up at the trading deadline from Toronto. Gurriel.
Has tremendous carry to his fastball. He'll throw a fastball, slider, sinker, occasional changeup, but more to the left-hander. Split-like action. I think for Hudson, he pitches off that fastball height and then follows it with that slider.
That's strike 2. I mean, Daniel Hudson, John, has pretty much come out of nowhere in this bullpen. They picked him up. He was available. And in 24 games with the Nationals, went 3-0, 6 saves, 3 holds, and an ERA of 1.44.
He's been really a savior for this team that struggled, as you mentioned, throughout the year. Worst bullpen ERA most of the year in the National League.
The 1-2 popped up. Out behind the second base position. Cabrera has out number 2.
It's funny, man. Sometimes the high slider, it's not what a pitcher's trying to do, by the way, but the high slider ends up giving more hitters fits. I'm talking higher than high because they're anticipating that break to be in the strike zone. And you can see how flat the swing is that he's trying to get to that pitch. And he ends up just popping it up. Hudson was shaking his head, but he got an out of it.
Here comes Carlos Correa, who's struck out 3 times tonight. Astros still trying to get it in gear with runners in scoring position. Left side, kept on the infield by Turner and almost turned into an out. The bases are loaded. Good play by the young shortstop. Correa with the infield hit.
And heads up base running, because in this situation with 2 outs, sometimes you might take the, well, you can see the play right in front of him. But a tremendous stop by Turner. Keeping the Nationals with an opportunity to get out of this inning.
And it's the 22-year-old rookie, Cuban-born Yordan Alvarez. 1 slam this year. Astros looking for a little old hit. Strike 1.
What a great pitch with the bases loaded to a slugger, dotting the outside part of the plate. I mean, this is dotted. There's nothing he can do with that. It's not what he's looking for, and it's not what he wants to hit.
Alvarez struggled in the ALCS. He's been on base 3 times tonight, with 2 hits and a walk. Strike 2. I think you have to give Davey Martinez credit for having Hudson ready for this opportunity. He brought in Rainey. He basically got Hudson up after that home run by Springer, and here he is with maybe the game on the line.
Absolutely. He knows Rainey's history and wanted to make sure this game stayed within check.
Here's the 0-2. He struck him out. Hudson comes in out of the bullpen and keeps on doing his thing. Wow. A strikeout on the high delivery, and the Nationals stay up by 2.
Well, Mr. Soto has changed this game, and it all started in a different way for him in the first inning. He was blown away by fastballs. You can see a little excited. Cole blew him away. But then he made the adjustment in the 4th inning and took this fastball to the train, which therefore caused Cole to change his approach the next time he was up, and he delivered again.
StatCast powered by AWS. Yeah, the strikeout, then the homer in the 4th inning that tied the game 2-2. And a 2-run double in the 5th inning, which made it 5-2. It's now 5-3. As the right-hander Will Harris takes over for Garrett Cole. 7 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Tonight against Garrett Cole, who's been untouchable. Not just this postseason, but for the majority of the regular season as well. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Anthony Rendon comes up empty, 2 balls and a strike.
And it doesn't seem like much at the time, but I'm telling you, that 2-out home run by Zimmerman was so huge for the Nationals. It's 2-0 right away, 2 outs, and Cole looked like he could take the rest of the game, and that was all he was going to need. That home run set a little doubt and gave a little encouragement to the Nationals, and then they got another 2-out home run, which tied it up and changed the entire flow of the game.
There are the numbers for Cole. 104 pitches in this game 1, the World Series start. Rendon straight up into shallow center, and Altuve goes out and hauls it in. 1 down. Rendon in his return home. 0 for 4 with a run scored. There are the numbers from StatCast, powered by AWS and Kenny Rosenthal. There was that post Game 3 hit session and skull session between Soto and hitting coach Kevin Long in the NLCS.
There was, Joe. Soto was uncomfortable with his swing that night. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So they retreated to the batting cage after the game, worked into the late hours. And basically the idea was to move back his contact point. He was getting too far out in front, not letting the ball travel deep enough. Long flipped him balls for about 10 to 15 minutes. They got the adjustment that they needed. The next night, Game 4, the clincher, he goes 2 for 4 with a double. And tonight, the ball travels. Both hits go the other way. Juan Soto got himself right quickly.
It's just pure talent. Foul tip, that's strike 2.
And what he does a great job with 2 strikes again in a game where, you know, leaving the yard is king. He spreads out and he does his best to not just vacate his swing, meaning he has a 2-strike approach and he has a 2-strike swing. And at a young age, that is just way beyond his years.
He almost takes up the entire batter's box. 6'2", 224. And he goes up the middle on an 0-2 pitch, and he's on with 1 out here in the 8th. A strikeout. Now he's gone homer, double, single.
And it's such a simple approach, but not everybody can do it. And this is what he's done, right to what Kenny's point was, hitting it late, going up the middle, 2-strike approach, little very stride at all, just puts his toe tap down. And that is classic, and you can tell right there from a hitting coach, kind of a proud dad.
1 on, 1 out for Howie Kendrick, 0 for 3. Strike 1. And you can just tell. I mean, you don't have to be a Hall of Fame pitcher like you to see that Soto has great hands.
I mean, that's a talent that you just can't. I mean, they saw it in him, and he's developed into a guy that you would swear has been in the league 10 years.
One ball, 1 strike on Kendrick. He came back from an Achilles tendon tear last year. What a year he had. What a postseason he has had. There's no MVP in the division series round, but his grand slam in the 10th inning at Dodger Stadium is one of the single biggest moments of this entire postseason, and it sent the Nationals onto the NLCS. And then he won the MVP of that round. Strike 2.
In the 66 victories that he played in, he batted .398, on base percentage of .447, a slugging of .838, with 13 home runs and 47 RBIs. So he's been a huge part of the resurgence to the Nationals, and that manager's taken care of him, not played him a bunch in a row, but lately he's their go-to guy in the postseason.
Yeah, now they can play him every day. Made 70 starts during the regular season. Hit .344. Runner goes, and a fly ball into right field sends Brantley back, and also sends Soto back to first with 2 out. Here you go. Youth has served. A young Andrew Jones, 19 when he went deep. His World Series debut 2 times. Juan Soto about to turn 21.
Did it in Yankee Stadium. His first 2 swings.
The Atlanta Braves won the first 2 games of that World Series.
Hey. We've talked about this already.
Just stating facts.
You're right. Let's just end it there.
Okay.
Because it did end there for us after that. Didn't win another game.
1 on, 2 out. A strike drops into Asdrubal Cabrera.
That's something Harris and a lot of these Astros can do at will. It throws that breaking ball with tremendous spin. He can throw it for strikes. Gets a lot of outs with it. Everything he throws basically has spin. He cuts the fastball and spins the breaking ball.
That's strike 2. In the bottom of this 8th inning for the Astros, right now trailing by 2, it'll be Maldonado, Aledmys Diaz. At least he's the scheduled hitter. And then back to the top of the order, George Springer.
Well, the Astros, no matter what happens in the outcome of this first game, will not be fazed by anything. They believe in their ball club. They know it's a series. They have to win 4 games. They lost game 1 against the Yankees, and in an epic game 2 was able to scratch out a win, and then of course came back here to win it in 6.
Smothered by Maldonado.
But you know the Nationals coming in, much like the Yankees, had to find a way. They had to beat either Cole or Verlander once and or twice. And that still remains true here. I mean, the Nationals knew coming in they were going to face these guys on a bare minimum. Cole twice, unless they were able to somehow sweep the Astros. And they had to beat them. And they had to put themselves in a position to do that. So far, they've done that tonight.
2-run ball game, 8th inning, game 1. A 1-2 to Cabrera. Soto takes off and steals second as the throw gets into center.
Time out, please.
And he shares a laugh with Carlos Correa. So for good measure, he gets his first steal of the postseason.
Correa was going to hold the tag on him like he had the ball, just so Soto didn't realize it went into center.
RBI chance now for Cabrera, who strikes out. And the top of the 8th inning is history here in game 1. 8-9-1 spots coming up. 5-3 Nationals. Well, we're going to see a pinch hitter here to start. The bottom of the 8th inning, Martin Maldonado is lifted for Kyle Tucker. Daniel Hudson got out of trouble in the 7th. Came on with 2 on, a run home, 1 out. Gave up an infield hit, struck out Yordan Alvarez with the bases loaded. And tonight the Astros have left 10 men on. Tucker had a big year power-wise at AAA, and then came up and hit 4 home runs in the big leagues, and he is on to start the 8th. Now 2 for 9 this postseason.
The young man likes fastballs. And he got one and promptly delivered it to center field.
That'll bring in Aledmys Diaz, who's 0 for 8 this postseason, 0 for 1 tonight. Pinch hit for Reddick in the 6th. And at the knees at 96 from Hudson. Lefty Sean Doolittle getting loose for the Nationals in their pen. The 0-1. High fly ball into left center field. Diaz got under it. Robles is there to make the catch. Tagging and advancing is Tucker as Robles throws behind him to first. But it certainly looked like he tagged. Zimmerman says, what the heck, I'll test it anyway. And he did tag and advances to second base.
Well, early in the year, Robles had some of these issues that they were ironing out and working out, but he was having trouble tracking this ball, and when he catches it, all he can see is the runner taking off as if maybe he missed what had happened, and communication has to be given out there that he's tagging. I don't know that it was properly given to him at the time.
Well, that's big. Runner in scoring position. Game only in the 8th inning. And a ball to George Springer, who is now homered in 5 consecutive World Series games. The MVP back in 2017, and he homered his last time up, leading off in the 7th.
Oh, you okay?
1 ball, 1 strike. Game 2 tomorrow night. On the air at the same time, 7:30 Eastern. And a matchup of Strasburg and Verlander. Great pitching matchup, round 2.
I haven't seen the changeup out of Hudson yet. And that's the one pitch against right-handers that gives George Springer fits. He covers the slider, he covers the fastball and the sinker. Slower than slow with curveballs or slower with the changeup.
Center, back at the wall. It stays in play. Bounces back toward the infield. Tucker is going to come around. It's a 1-run game. Springer delivers again.
Tucker gets lucky here, as you could think. Springer's got it. Tucker should have been almost at third base, and he was tagging. So if this ball doesn't bounce away in a funny way, they would have prevented Tucker from scoring. Eaton almost gets this ball. But Tucker is not supposed to be sitting there tagging at this point. And only because of the bounce does he score that run to cut it to 1.
Tying runs at second, 1 out, and here is Altuve. Deafening in here, and that's foul out of play right side.
Like I said, they still have a lot of magic in their offense. They have made every Nationals pitcher work extremely hard to keep them to 4 runs.
Left-handed hitting Brantley on deck. Left-hander Sean Doolittle getting ready. Hudson to Altuve.
Hudson overthrowing just a little bit there, and that slider was flat to Springer. I would think regardless of what happens here, they would bring in Doolittle to face Brantley. And if need be, walk Bregman to pitch to Gurriel.
Altuve chased. What a start to this World Series. 2-0 Houston, 5-2 Washington, 5-4 Washington, runner at second, one out. That's foul.
That was a risky pitch. I'm sure they tried to get this ball buried on the inside part of the plate, nowhere close to the strike zone. But that whole purpose to get way in there is to throw this next slider off the plate. But Altuve was right on it and pulled it foul.
One-two pitch into right. Easy for Eaton. Tagging is Springer. He stays put, 2 down. And with Brantley coming up, Davey Martinez is coming out, and he'll bring Daniel Hudson with him. In comes Doolittle. Up comes Brantley. 8th inning of a thrilling Game 1 of the World Series. Earlier tonight, Logan Carman was treated to a one-of-a-kind experience. Logan, whose wish was to go to the World Series, was granted this opportunity through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Since 2000, MLB has granted more than 100 wishes to attend the All-Star Game and World Series games. Visit MLBcommunity.org to learn more. Bottom of the 8th inning, tying run at second, 2 out, and here is a left-hander, Sean Doolittle.
Pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher with about 88% on average is going to be his fastball.
Michael Brantley could tie it with a hit. That's a strike. Woo! Some time on the IL with a bad knee for Doolittle since coming back. An ERA 2.35 in 15 games, and during the regular season recorded a career high 29 saves. That's strike 2.
88% fastball, 6% split, 6% slider. But right now it's paint.
I think where the Nationals are here in Game 1, they've used their number 1 starter, their number 3 starter in this game, their top 3 arms out of the bullpen. The lead is down to 1 in a game that they just cannot let get away. Here on the road, it was 5-2. It's 5-4, and the Astros are thinking comeback of their own.
Yeah, and Dave Martinez is thinking 4 outs for Doolittle.
A long way to go in this ballpark. 0-2 pitch. That's into left. Soto is there. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 8th inning. A run is plated by Houston. They're down 1 after 8. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV on Fox. 9th inning of Game 1, and Zimmerman hammers at the first pitch, chops it to short. Correa makes a wide throw but out, as the right-hander Joe Smith takes over with a new catcher, Robinson Chirinos. He throws 1 pitch and gets 1 out in the 9th.
Smith's been really good for the Astros and gives them a different dimension. Of course, they've got no left-handers in their pen, so they have their left-handed batter relievers that they like. And they like Joe Smith against a lot of righties.
782 appearances in the big leagues for the 35-year-old Joe Smith before his first World Series appearance. That was the longest by any active pitcher. So he's been at it for a long time and finally gets rewarded with the 2019 Astros.
Going into this game, there were 6 for the Nationals that had played in a World Series before and 11 for the Astros.
0-1 pitch here to Suzuki, spins him out of there, a ball and a strike.
And I believe Greinke's the second active pitcher to finally be crossed off that list.
One ball, one strike. 1-run game. Breaking ball is fouled off Chirino, strike 2. John, do you know when the last time a team played in the World Series without a left-handed pitcher on their roster?
I do not know that.
It predates you. That is strike 3. Got him looking. 2 out. 1903.
Wow. So you're saying it doesn't happen very often?
No, it doesn't. And 2 righties will go tomorrow. Again, the Astros do not have a left-hander active on their roster. Strasburg, how good has he been? And Verlander, a record of 1-2 this postseason with an ERA of 3.7. Here's Robles. Breaking balls popped up. That was quick and easy by Smith as Correa goes out to get it. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Astros. Heart of the order. Bregman, Gurriel, Correa. 5-4 Nationals. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. What a game. Squeezed about every ounce out of this one that we can to this point. T-Mobile takes fans further for the future of baseball. And now let's take a look at the best of the 4D replays. Sponsored by T-Mobile. What a night for the young and terrific Juan Soto. Struck out in his first at bat. Then went homer. 2-run double. Single, stolen base.
All the guys that Doolittle will face this inning, this is his toughest matchup. It's a good matchup for Bregman. He loves hitting off of left-handers, especially fastballs. See what happens.
No, it's outside.
Outside for ball 1 to Bregman. Doolittle came on last inning, got Brantley on a line drive, caught by Soto and left. He holds that glove high and lets it fly. One ball, one strike.
Bregman on the year, 350 against left-handers in 16 of his 41 home runs.
Gurriel and then Correa. The next 2 hitters, 2-1. Two and two. .41 home runs during the regular season, 1 this postseason for Alex Bregman. And he strikes out to start the 9th.
Really surprised on that fastball take to get him to 2 strikes and then just 4-seamer by him.
One down, and that'll bring in Yuli Gurriel. 2 for 4 in this game. Better numbers against right-handed pitchers. Outside, ball 1. Check swing, he did not go, and the count 2-0.
Doolittle's an amazing story how he even got to this point. First baseman, pretty good hitter in college. Injuries and an injury to his right wrist that was going to keep him out for a whole year. And he decided, well, you know what, let me give pitching a try, and here he is now, pitching in the World Series and been closing for a while.
Came up with the A's in 2012. Traded over to the Nationals 2 seasons ago. High fly ball into center. Robles dances under it. 2 down. And the Astros are down to their final out as Carlos Correa, who's hit 23 home runs all in this year, walks to the plate. Scherzer gutted it out for 5 innings. Corbin 1 scoreless. Then Rainey, Hudson, each allowed a run. Now Doolittle trying to get 4 outs and save it for Scherzer. Into left center field. Robles is there, and the Nationals take game 1. A 3-hour, 43-minute game. And Garrett Cole, who came in having won his last 19 decisions in the Astros 16-0 over his last 16 starts, suffers the loss.
Well, the Nationals are a very confident bunch. A lot of people talked about the rest and what it would do to their offense, and would they be a little rusty. All they did was go out and beat the best pitcher in the planet in game 1, and Dave Martinez feeling good about his team.
That for Garrett Cole, his first loss since May 22nd. And the Nationals got a home run from the vet Ryan Zimmerman to cut the lead in half. Tied it with the kid Soto. An opposite field home run in the 4th, and put together a 3-run 5th inning, and then the combination of Scherzer, Corbin, Rainey, Hudson, and Doolittle good enough to close it down.
Yeah, if the Nationals are going to be successful and beat the Houston Astros, that formula we saw tonight is going to be key. They don't want to have to pitch a ton of guys, not that they don't have the opportunity to. Their formula works best when they get a high percentage of innings out of their starters and go to their high leverage guys.
And after this win, let's send it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Juan, first World Series game, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, home run, stolen base. Cole struck you out in your first at bat. You came back with a home run and a double. What was the adjustment you made?
After the first at bat, I just said, that's another baseball game. That's another baseball game. It's the same thing at the season, the playoff, it's the same thing. Just go and enjoy it.
You don't turn 21 until Friday. You're one of the 2 youngest players ever to have 2 extra base hits in a World Series game. Beforehand, what were your emotions like? Were you nervous?
In the first at bat, I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit shaky in my legs, but I just try to control my emotions and try to be focused in the game and try to drive the ball.
You had so many guys contribute tonight. Scherzer, Corbin, Zimmerman, Hudson, Doolittle. What does this win in this ballpark tell you about your team?
It's amazing. You can tell the rest they take. The rest help a little bit to the guys because we have a lot of veteran players. So they just get the rest the best they can and then just come play.
Ron, congratulations. Thank you. Joe, back to you.
Yeah, big night for that kid. And admitting to nerves early. I think those nerves are gone. And he showed all he can do here tonight.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great series. I don't know if a lot of people knew it going in.
Well, we know this. The Nationals take game one. 5-4 is the final. Let's send it over to our studio and say hello to Kevin Burkhardt.